The STEM Society.
Happy 2026. My name is Cole Jackson, and this is the STEM Society. Welcome back. Episode 136 is live. Thank you for joining me. If you like what I do, because what I do is not very easy, I give you guys the real on hip-hop news, music reviews. I give you my best stuff. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and let me know that you enjoy this content, and let me know you want to grow this channel. In 2026, we're aiming to have one of the biggest sub years ever. That means I got to give you more content and more of myself, so I got to work my ass off this year. I hope you guys had a great 2025, and I hope you brought 2026 in with somebody you love. Let's go ahead and get into this news with Doechii and Adin Ross. So Doechii just dropped her newest song with SZA called Girl Get Up. If you haven't seen that video or heard that song yet, go listen to it. I think it's very, very relevant. I think it's something that she needed to do because she's addressing the haters. And my thoughts on the song so far is I thought that was a great way to come in 2026. I think that was something that needed to be addressed. We kind of forget that she's been on tour the second half of 2025, and the things that she's talking about in this song super relevant to what's been going on in her life, and that is going to gear us up for her album coming out in 2026. But the song basically talks about the industry plant stuff, about how much hate she's been getting as an artist and why she has to go through what she's gone through when people don't believe that she had to go through a lot. She had to get it out the mud. I was one of those people who was one of those early adopters when it came to Doechii. I knew she was super talented. I had been talking about her on this show for a very long time, and I just had been speaking her praises, and it just really sounds crazy to think that people think of her as an industry plant. A lot of people don't really realize what artist development looks like, especially coming from the woman side of things. I think we get so many people who just drop and come out with just random shit because they just got out of the strip club or they just got out of doing reality TV or whatever the case may be. And we haven't seen enough artists. I'm just not going to say women artists, but we haven't seen enough artists in this time get the artist development that they need. With her coming from the TDE tree, I would think that we would understand that she got what she needed as far as development is concerned. Top and those people over there know talent, and they have always been one of those people to mold new artists and make sure they get into the right place before they put them out into the world, especially when it comes to that big one. People looked at her success from Alligator Bites as something that was just out of nowhere when she had been grinding for a very long time. Her success coming out around about the time the Kendrick and Drake beef was going on, and the way people went at her because of maybe how things were evolving or changing in music. See, we tend to forget that during this Drake-Kendrick beef, things were shifting over to more of a lyrical side of things. The West Coast was most definitely getting a lot more love. TDE was getting a lot more love, even though she's from Florida. Go figure. But at the end of the day, when we started listening to her music, the black side of the internet definitely went at this girl the most and first. When I was on the internet looking at people's posts, the first thing I would say is she's an industry plant. She is a person. How could she get how could she be so successful for this fast? There's no way she's that good. That album is trash. That album's not that good. She makes music for slaves. Do y'all remember the shit that y'all was saying on the internet? Because that was a lot of the black people on the internet saying those things. Y'all said she made Harriet Tubman music. I got the tweets. The black side of the internet said that girl made Harriet Tubman music. Now, we tend to be our own worst critics sometimes, and we tend to go very, very hard when we see something that's an anomaly or something that's out of the norm. But to be completely honest with you, I hope that this song was addressing that side of the internet as well. I just remember having conversations with people, not being able to grasp why this woman was doing so well so early. And a lot of people just use the industry plant thing as an excuse or as something that make them feel better about hating her, when all you really had to do was say, I hate her or I don't like her. I don't like the fact that the black side of the internet wants to hide behind certain things because we feel like, or because y'all feel like it's the easy route to go with. Hiding behind something that says she's an industry plant is just one of those things to just keep from saying, I'm gonna look in the mirror and not like myself too. I just remember before Adin Ross was going so hard on this girl, the black side of the internet really introduced him to being a part of that. The black side of the internet really did open up the door to let him be able to walk through it and say whatever he wanted to say.
Okay, y'all, let's talk about this Doechii drama because, baby, the math is not mathing and the science is not sciencing. So Doechii is super talented, great stage presence, but folks are calling her an industry plant. And honestly, points were made. Like, she just won Woman of the Year, but only sold 11,000 albums her first week. Girl, what year are we talking about? Because it's clearly not this one. And then there were the Grammys. And then she somehow surpassed Nicki Minaj in monthly listeners. Girl, be for real. Nicki has been rapping since flip phones. She has a huge fan base. There's just no way Spotify's numbers are that off unless UMG and Spotify are out here playing phone a friend with the streaming stats.
Don't get me started on that industry plant. Don't get me started. You guys can say shit whatever you want about me, but one thing about me is I'm not an industry plant. I've been streaming for like a long time now. Fuck Doechii. The umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro. She deserves, bro. I'm not joking, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She's just the worst. She's a piece of shit. She stole someone that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's horrible.
And now it's to the point where we want to sit up here and crucify that man because of what he's been saying, which I agree he needs something to happen to him, which I'll get to. But some of you guys have to realize this never would have been a thing if you didn't open the door and let this white guy come in here and just do whatever the fuck you wanted to do. So I think when we cut this blame pie up, I think a big slice of that blame pie should go to the black side of the internet because a lot of you guys really didn't like this girl, not because she wasn't good, but because she was a part of TDE or she got co-signed by Kendrick or people just thought she was a West Coast rapper and just wanted to be able to be on the cool side of things when it came to talking shit about her. Not really understanding her talent, not really listening to the album, not really giving it the praise or just giving it the chance that it deserved. Y'all really went at this girl, and a lot of this Adin Ross shit is your fault. Sorry, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is. You guys never really wanted to give her a chance, and just because she wasn't doing pussy rap. But just because you guys don't want to take the blame, I'm going to be here to make sure to remind you that a lot of this is really your fault. So let's move on to the Adin Ross thing, where he has been relentless when it comes to Doechii. Why he is speaking on a black woman and the way he's coming at her, I do not know. Adin Ross is a streamer who is out in California currently. And he has been having some of the most horrendous and terrible opinions about hip hop I've ever heard. And I think a lot of that has to do with the cosign with being with Drake and a lot of the black streamers that accepted him in and gave him a platform to be able to speak on a lot of the things that we listen to, which I never really understood why. I don't understand if this guy is like the coolest kid in the world or just because his platform is so big. I just never understood why he chooses to speak on the culture like that. And I mean, if I'm being completely honest with you, why do we care what Adin Ross has to say?
I'm going about Doechii tomorrow, but I ain't gonna let that dumb fat bitch. Sorry, she's not fat. That dumb bitch, that fucking botted fucking bitch. Dude, that fucking stupid smelly whore. She dropped from
Stop talking about the black queen.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. Yo, let me tell you something right now.
You mad because she made it? No bots.
Look at her monthly listeners right now. That bitch went from 60 million to fucking 20 million.
She blew up.
For what? From
making
what?
Music.
Cradling cock and balls? Like, what are you talking
Yo,
about?
why am I not live, bro?
Well, you're not.
You know what sucks? The kid next to him, who is a black kid, who's just kind of like letting all of that shit fly, man. I hope your parents are proud. He has been relentless when it comes to the Doechii. He's been relentless about what he's had to say. He's been relentless about how he calls this girl out. He has gone as far as doing a diss track with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Haven't seen the video? Here's a little snippet of what they've been putting out here.
Fuck that, you know I'm a Jew. Beef with me, you know I'm a Sue. Season is it, he ain't know what to do. These German bitches, they wanna fuck out of you. Doechii, dirty bitch partner views. Dirty bitch, dirty bitch partner views. Bitch, dirty bitch partner views. Bitch, dirty bitch partner views. Ooh, shake it.
Why does Adin Ross care about our culture so much? Isn't he a Jewish kid with a lot of privilege that loves to talk about other shit. I don't really necessarily watch his streams because why would I want to support somebody who's an asshole like that? Just saying. Why is our culture or why are our women such a huge topic for his streams and his demo? Well, the obvious reason is, well, we make everything so much cooler, and him talking about it or degrading it or talking shit about it takes him to another level because there's more people out there that think like him than you think. Just because he shows up and hangs around other black streamers doesn't necessarily mean he's down for the cause. That means he's down for a check. Just because academics, who I really feel like should step up and say something as well, co-signs this kid doesn't necessarily mean he should be a part of our culture or hip-hop music in general. I just feel like right now we're very passive when it comes to letting people like him say what they want to say about the culture, bro. Like, don't y'all feel like we should step up and try to like shut this nigga down? Like, don't y'all think that this is something that we should be up in arms about? Again, it's kind of hard to do that when you on the other end and you're black allows those things and say some of the things that he's saying even worse. See, that's where we have a big problem. That's where I get all the confusion at, because the reason why we okay it is because we do it too. In 2026, I guess we're going to continue to stop supporting each other as much as we possibly can because the color of their skin, or because we don't think their music is good enough, or because they got it and we don't. Sometimes, bro, we have to look in the mirror and understand that you're the problem. Again, if we didn't open that door to make it okay for him to say those types of things, he wouldn't be saying that type of stuff. And now we're trying to, by the time we get to the point where we're supposed to stand up against people who talk shit like that about our women, about our music, about our culture, it's too late. The wolf's in the hen house now, and he's feeding off of this. And we should be ashamed of ourselves for letting that happen or letting it go so far. So while this whole thing has been going on, Glasses Malone stepped up and he said a lot of stuff. He had this clip floating around the internet where he is talking about getting that Adin Ross.
Oh, stop talking about that lady. You don't stop calling that lady out her name, homie. A nigga gonna make it bad for you. And I know you gonna make it really hard to get to you. So all them niggas around you, a nigga gonna do something to them. I'm gonna fuck which one of my homies I gotta organize. Like, and if you know me, you know I've been doing this a long time. So my relationships are stellar and I got enough attitude to do everything that I'm supposed to do because it's the right thing to do. Like, even in his fucking thing, he like, I'm just gonna call the police. Police come after crimes, man. So when I slap you up and I do something to you, they coming after. What in the fuck make you think if I'm saying this on this fucking camera, nigga, I'm not running. I'll be right there when they show up. That's y'all problem. Y'all been playing these games, and that's how y'all socialize with humans. And you've been saying all this dumbass shit behind this game. You, Neon, all these cornball ass niggas. And y'all got all these niggas that fuck with y'all because they think y'all can provide them some level of exposure. Because I don't care. I don't care. I'm not one of them. You better ask some of these niggas about what I'm on. All I ask you to do is stop calling that lady out her fucking name. Yes, call her Music Mac. That's your job. Do your fucking job. Stop calling this black lady a bitch and all that shit because you making us look crazy. And I'm not with that. That's the difference, bro. You're making content. You got to call another nigga. That's not going to fix the problem, bro. Stop calling this fucking black lady out her fucking name like that.
After seeing that Glasses Malone clip, I thought two things. One, that nigga is correct. We need to whoop his ass. And two, we've let so much slide for so long. That's the only option we have. And I'm not trying to make a joke of it, but he's right, bro. The more we sit down and we let these people disrespect our culture and our women, the more it's going to get out of hand in 2026. And I already know what you're going to say. Well, Cole, you already know, man, we disrespect our own women. Or what are we going to do about the black people? I think black people should get their ass whooped too this year. Sorry, I'm handing out ass whoopings this year. And and everything that Glasses Malone said, I fuck with. And I don't really agree with him all the time. But it's gotten to the point where these talking heads, especially on the streamer side of things, have gotten so disrespectful and they feel like they can get away with so much that why not whoop somebody's ass? and I know I shouldn't be an advocate for violence, but when are we going to be able to, where we never take action when it comes to hitting people in their pockets? The whole Target thing that happened over here in the States, yeah, I get it. We did that. That's wonderful. But we have someone here who really, that he's not our demo. He's somebody that we don't really support when it comes to buying his products for real, for real. How are we going to be able to hit him in his pockets? He's a privileged Jewish white kid that lives in California that's going to continue to do and say what he wants to because his security is better than anybody else's on the planet next to Vlad. I don't know. But in 2026, can't we just change the narrative and just start pressing some of these niggas, man? For real. It's gotten to the point where just the talking heads, the streamers, all of these people have gotten out of hand. And again, I understand criticizing the music. Hell, that's what I do. I talk about the music. But once you start calling people out their name, getting super disrespectful, and just being an asshole when it comes to the culture, something has to be done. And as extreme as Glasses Malone sounds when it comes to pressing this dude with a bunch of Crips, it ain't the worst thing in the world. It's just not, man. It's not that. But let's make sure, and I'm going to say it because a lot of other people's not going to say it. Let's make sure we keep the same energy when it comes to other talking heads like academics or Joe Budden or people of that ilk who continuously say their side things when it comes to talking about our black women or about artists when it gets to their personal lives. See, we're going to be riding for this because it's Adin Ross and he's a white guy and he don't look like us. But are we going to have the same energy when it comes to people like academics and Joe Budden, who has most definitely said some things out of the way when it comes to this girl? No, they didn't say anything when it comes to calling out her name, but they've made some insinuations about if she's an industry plant, we're going to press them the same way. That's all I am. I'm all about fairness, baby. I'm all about everybody getting an ass whooping these days. Because we've had those people, those major talking heads, most definitely say some of the most disrespectful things they can as possible, especially the academics. We're going to start pressing him more. The thing is, we have to learn what's good for the goose is good for the gander as well. And we most definitely need to make sure that all of these niggas understand how to respect what we have going on. Because if I'm being completely honest, this is going to be a make or break year for black culture and for hip hop. Because we're going to get to a point where we've peaked. We're going to get to a point where we're going to let more people who are outsiders into our culture, and we're going to be scrutinized even more because of the last few years that we've had. We've had great years in hip hop. We've had great years in music. We've had people do the things that we wanted them to do, but that's when the scrutiny comes. When you're doing great, all of the criticism, all of the people who are going to scrutinize your culture and all the people who are going to talk down are going to increase and multiply. Are we going to be able to press all of those people as well? That's my biggest question when it comes to these types of things. I want us to be able to have another productive year. I want us to be able to evolve more when it comes to this hip hop thing or to this culture thing or to this black thing or to whatever it is we want to call it. But until we figure out how we're going to gatekeep it from people who are outsiders, until we make it something that is special and we hold it as something near and dear to our hearts, we're going to keep being passive aggressive and we're going to keep letting these suck ass niggas come in and say the fucking dumb shit that they want to. And a lot of you people who are black like me are introducing them to that and letting them get a pass when it comes to that shit. Let's try to change this shit and make it different. And let's try to respect what we have, because what we have is special. What we do is special. The things that we make is special. Let's not sit up here and try to make this shit into something where it's just like, oh, that's just my white homeboy. He can say nigga all he wants to because I gave him that pass. Let's close the cookout. Let's stop giving out the passes and let's build our infrastructure strong enough to where we can say something to people like Adin Ross and keep him from disrespecting our black people and make sure we can shut his shit down just like other cultures have done. What do you guys think? Do you think the violent route is the way we need to handle Adin Ross? Do you think Adin Ross has a valid point by calling Doechii a bitch or a whore or a skank or whatever he wants to call it? Has streamers gone too far when it comes to this type of stuff? I really want to know what you guys have to say in the comments. That's all I got for today. I will be giving you guys my best of list coming out this week, so make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. And man, make sure you subscribe and grow this thing if you like the kind of content I'm giving you. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode, and I'll catch you next week. Peace out.
She is kind of fucking with my money, but I meant everything I said, and I say it again.